Hey everybody, welcome to FableForge RPG Wednesday night, Hearts of Shadow live. Sorry for the delay, there's a little bit of a technical issue. Everybody knows a lot of tech going on behind the scenes involved in these live streams, especially with a bunch of people, so thank you for your patience. With all that being said, we don't have any time for announcements tonight because we're late and there aren't that many anyway, but kick back, relax, enjoy your friends, check out all the links, and we're going to jump into this straight away. Hopefully, Sammy or I will be able to join us here soon. So might have to a little bit of a delay when he is able to pop in, hopefully. Otherwise, we'll see what happens. Alright, so my friends. When we last left off, you had made your way to the Chapel of Flaceros around Adric's Folly. After your journey through the Darkwood, your harrowing, dangerous journey through the Darkwood, the sun finally rose in the east after Nereneus' shadow abated. You saw the chapel in the distance, you approached it as it seemed to be a safe location since all the regional guards that were roving seemed to give it a wide berth. There you met a new friend, a female dwarf by the name of Alexandria, and you found out that her husband was captured and she tracked him to Adric's Folly as well. Soraya found a secret location, a secret entrance to Adric's Folly by listening to the whispers of the dead. Soon thereafter, a roving patrol seemed to have either wanted to investigate the chapel or maybe saw or heard a commotion, came over there, and you did battle with them, effectively putting them out of their misery in short order. Tired and exhausted at that point, Brime was surprised by the crumbling wall in this crypt entrance to the secret passageway, and a reaver, a wraith, some type of spectral spirit demanded to be either freed from his internal imprisonment as guardian of this passage, or it would prevent you from walking the path safely. There was a little bit of confusion and discord about how to proceed until eventually Soraya hopped down as Alexandria was ready to sacrifice herself for the good of the quest and engaged this spectral being in combat. Shortly after the fight began, a stranger approached with two Vicmordir archer mercenaries by the name of Morgan, engaged in battle with you, and you effectively cleared the undead spirits of their eternal watch, and you got to know Morgan a little bit more. Discovering that your goals were aligned, Morgan set out to clear the way from the guards she was supposed to be working with by unexpectedly slaying them, and you decided to rest before proceeding on your path toward Adric's Folly, hopefully to rescue the citizens of Rebalka and find out what happened to this relic that you all seek, which most of you know as the Moon Shard. During this long rest, not much happened except Morgan. As we left off, you had been either lightly sleeping since it wasn't really your normal time, or you were jostled awake by the light rustling of blankets as some of the party members got up and got down. But as you lie awake, Sophion on his side facing you, with the way his curly mop of hair was thrown to the side, he looks startlingly familiar to another halfling that you recognized from Adric's Folly, maybe a week and a half ago. She left with the last caravan, but the way she was carrying herself and the way that she was being treated by the Drow that she was often in company with, those of the general warrior, not the ones in command, but the general kind of warriors and scouts he always seemed to be around, it was really hard to discern whether she was prisoner or accomplice. So you're lying half awake. I want to say, forgive me if I forget, but I want to say Lorelai, you noticed this as well? Okay, so you noticed her looking at Sophion, because you were the last one on watch. Everybody else was asleep. And so that's where we're going to pick up. It is late in the... Let's see, y'all were going to sleep in the late afternoon, so it's probably early night time now. The crypt is dark. There is a chill in the air, kind of a musty smell, and remember, every time there is any sense of quiet, those whispering, cacophonous opera of undead voices teeters in and fills your ears. It is the end of your watch, Lorelei. Nothing else has happened. You did see Morgan close her eye and either go back to sleep or seemingly go back to sleep for the rest of your watch. But your watch is over. Everybody is asleep or seemingly asleep around you. So what would you like to do?
I can't remember. Did we decide I was going to be the last watch since everybody else did a watch? I think.
I'm pretty sure you were the last watch.
Okay. I will just start waking everybody up slowly and say, hey, I think it's time for us to leave.
Makes you think that?
Because I feel like we've slept, we've had our rest. I think we have to get started, as much as I really don't want to.
Puts a blanket over his head.
All right, Sophion, come on, get up.
I don't want to go
I don't
charge
want to go
the
either.
castle.
Okay, okay, I tempt you with some rations? Do you want to eat something before we go with that?
Oh, whoa. That's kind of like, I mean, I'm a halfling, but you can't just be offering halflings free food and expect them to do things. That's weird.
Well, I didn't know if it would make you feel better about waking up.
Got coffee?
I'll have Brian like rolling up his sack, and so if you get up right now, then the next time you want to go to sleep, I'll give you the last of the drow poison that's on this parchment.
Hell yeah, I'm up. He's got his clothes on and everything. Let's go. Fucking roll.
I like lean over to Lorelai. I still have the vial. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, okay. Keep that safe, please.
Yes. He just finishes rolling up his bedroll and his blanket and attaching it to his backpack. Alright, Sophion, and just like slaps it in his hand, the last piece of parchment with just a little bit of drow poison left.
Oh, fuck yeah. Let me do this.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Let's sleep good. About 5 minutes.
Yep.
My God.
That's how that works. Alright, so, Sophion. I need a Constitution saving throw.
If he's out, I'm not dragging him. Oh my god.
So, either the exposure to the air, since it wasn't sealed up in a vial, has made this significantly weaker, or you're building up a tolerance with your rapid amount of recent use. You get a little bit of a relaxed feeling, but otherwise, no effect.
Oh, the fuck yeah. And he'll take like the little bit that's left and put it on his finger, and he's like, let's go. Woo!
We should come up with a plan first, right?
Yeah. Do you know what's at the end of the hallway? You said it was like. Did you say it was like a basement? Almost.
Yes. Yeah, it goes like into the underside of Adric's. You can kind of sneak in through there, but at any given time, there's like 50 or so guards or patrols and people that aren't gonna just let you have free reign. So we need to come up with a strategy on how to get everybody in there.
Can't we get one of these people you killed their clothes on, and I don't know, we try to worm our way in?
We could try that.
Do you know on average how many guards are in the basement itself? Like, do they guard the door to the basement, or is it just like a patrol?
I would expect there to be guards on one side or other of the door.
Okay. I mean, do they know you? Would you be able to, maybe if we did take the clothes from your companions, would you maybe be able to pass some of us off as like captures trying to break in?
Yeah, they definitely know me, but I don't think that you guys in the scout's clothes would work. They definitely don't know you.
What if I was on Lorelai's shoulders?
Have a long trench coat.
I think it would be best for you to be on Brian's shoulders because I'm already taller than you.
Brian just
We
looks
would be-
straight at Sophia. No.
Okay,
Fine.
no, nobody's getting on anybody's shoulders.
How about
I mean,
this?
I don't want to kill the people in the basement because then they're just gonna know that we're coming if they don't already. I mean, obviously.
Not if they're dead.
Well, yeah, but someone's gonna come check, and then they're gonna know that there's someone in the castle, and then they're gonna raise the alarm.
Yeah,
Not
why
if
don't
they're
I
dead.
go in Morgan's pack? We scout out the area and then let y'all know what's up, you know?
Are you small enough to fit in her pack?
I've been losing weight. Like, God, why you gotta do that, Lorelai? You know how sensitive I am about my size.
Well, I don't
offer
want
me
you to be
ration.
squished.
I'm
Sophia.
gonna be fine.
I like put my hand on her shoulder. In all due respect, I am the small frog. If anyone's gonna fit in a pack, it's going to be me.
Maybe.
So tell me what you guys want to accomplish once we get into the basement and beyond, and maybe I can help come up
Save
with a strategy.
everyone.
Yeah, we'd like to find
Perfect.
where the I guess they're prisoners now. The villagers are being held, and potentially see if we could find where the moon shard is in the building.
Oh, the moon shard isn't here anymore.
Oh,
Wait, how do you know that?
Fly some Vic Mordier with a few drinks. They'll tend to tell you what they know.
did they tell you where they took it?
I bet Underdark.
I know it left on the last ferry. That's all I know. I don't know where the ferry goes.
Oh, where is the ferry? Are we near like a ferry port?
Well, like every week and a half or so, like the captives that have been rounded up get ferried off into the Underdark.
How big
somewhere.
is this ferry?
I don't know if it's actually a ferry or maybe more of like a caravan, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, ferried as in verb and not noun.
I would like to clarify one thing. Everything about that is true except the moon shard did not get taken with the last caravan. Last caravan was, like, you know, Morgan, about 7 days ago or so.
Yeah.
But the moon shard, that seems to have disappeared in the last day or two. It wasn't, you didn't even know it was there before it was gone, and you've been keeping tabs and ears out for this item.
It was only been gone for a day or two?
Yeah. Like, it came and it went before you even heard it was there.
Well, I mean, that's not what I was expecting. I thought that it would have still been here in the castle because they were using it for their ritual, I thought. Unless this was just the starting point to get all the sacrifices together.
Who cares? We're here for the sacrifices. Let's go find them and make sure they're sacrificed. And
Okay, I think that's the opposite of what we want, Sophia. I think we need to get them not sacrificed. We need to get them alive, to not unalived.
Or, hear me out. We let them go and get ferried out to this unknown place in the Underdark. We follow them, and when they get to where they're going, there we can free them and also possibly find the shard.
So they're just being held here, right? You don't think that they're actually being killed here.
No, this is like a staging area, and then they're being taken somewhere else.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that's the case, is there a need for us to go into the castle? Do we need to go in and hide in the castle, or should we go somewhere else? Do you know where they go when they get taken out? Like, is it an underground passage? Is it back into the
I
forest?
don't know.
Okay. I mean, I guess it could be either one.
I would add that the last one of these caravans you saw leaving, Morgan, they left in the early night. Well, I should say they arrived in the early night and then they rapidly turned around and left. The caravan itself that was escorting the prisoners consisted of 10 Drow riding on giant spiders, along with 2 Drow that were kind of on foot, but they seemed really fast and really easily blended in with the shadows around them. FYI.
Well, Brian, Sophian, what do you think we should do? Should we still go into the castle if maybe see if we can get some inside information, or wait outside and see if we can catch them
Yeah,
leaving?
let's find out. Because honestly, we should trust Morgan like 50%. You know?
I mean, at
Like-
least 50%.
Yeah, let's confirm it. You know?
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
Alright.
so
You guys are gonna
we're go-
fact check me?
Look, if we do it to our politicians, we got to do it to you too.
All right. I mean, just pick out which one of you guys wants to die, because one of you guys will die.
I point to Lorelai.
hey now, I don't think that that's okay.
I'm just gonna like kick back against the wall and cross my arms and be like, all right, come back when you're ready.
Well,
Well-
you gotta help us get in. You know?
Oh
What is
no,
that?
y'all don't want to trust me.
I didn't
I've-
say we're not
I've
gonna
given you
trust
guys
you.
information.
Yeah, we trust you
You want to trust me
100%.
50%? I've given you 50%. Good
I
luck.
lean Okay.
I lean over to Lorelai. Mom and Dad are fighting.
I will increase it to 69. Okay, is that fine?
What I think should happen is, since they know me and I have a little bit of respect around here, I should deliver you guys as captives. They will take you to the holding area. And then when the caravan leaves, I will also accompany it. You guys will be on the inside, I'll be on the outside, and then we can pool the information that we gather together.
I'm cool with that plan. There's a lot less walking.
Okay, but what if they don't let you come? Are you just gonna follow anyways?
Yeah,
Would they not kill you for following when you were told not to go?
why would they tell me not to go?
I mean, if you're new here, I don't see why they would be like, oh yeah, go, you know what I
I'm
mean?
not that new. I've outlasted a lot more people than I haven't.
I look down at the
Also-
bodies, obviously.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know if I want to be your prisoner after just meeting you.
I'm fine with that.
I mean,
You have
I'd
a
be
better
okay
plan?
with getting transported with them. I just want to be sure that you're gonna be able to meet us and help us escape if we do end up getting locked away somewhere.
I give you my word, I will help you escape.
A
Wait,
word
False
is a heavy
capture
thing.
that I will impose upon you.
Quick follow-up question. Intended no foul harm to you. Did you give them a word?
That's what I'm thinking, guys.
No.
Oh my god, we just met her, and then she killed 2 people she was working with.
Well, she didn't give them a word. She gave us a word.
How do we know she didn't give them their word?
Of course, she just said so.
Oh my god.
I mean, Sophia, and I agree with you. It's hard to consider doing this when we only just met her, but do you have any other option besides potentially getting slaughtered the second we walk into that basement?
Oh yeah, if my options are get slaughtered, relinquish all my shit and become a slave, or just turn around, just gonna choose this one, right? Right? This one.
No,
Wow, I didn't take you for a coward.
I'm not a coward. I'm just not an idiot.
Both lies.
Oh my god. Oh, why are you guys willing to throw down everything? You know, if she's lying, you're just a slave, right? There's nothing you can do.
I like put my arms on Sophion's shoulder. We have literally put everything on the line up until this point. What makes all of this any different besides the fact that there is now another person involved?
Because at every point in stage, I had my knife and I could do something about it. If she takes us in without our stuff, there's no fighting. There's just us getting
how
our.
can keep your knife.
I'm not sticking it into any place. It does not work like that. It's too big.
No, that wasn't the plan.
I mean, I don't want to lose my staff either. Or not my staff, my little thing. I mean, I guess they wouldn't take it since it's not technically.
Why wouldn't they take it? Drow, they aren't they magical?
I mean, yeah, but
They're not idiots. They're gonna
I don't know if they would. I mean, they know that we're dangerous because we've been killing their people from this whole point. So I could see that they would capture us because they keep saying every time we run into them that they want us to be their sacrifices.
I mean, but
I'm
I'm just also the person we went up to on the hill. Do the rest of them know that it's us? Oh, we showed them.
I mean, I think word got out that there was a party traveling because they kept sending those people to trap us, remember?
It's
yes,
not
but
like
it was the people we killed up on the hill that kept sending people to trap
because
us.
you remember there were 3 to 4 Drow, and only one of them we've killed during our time when we first encountered them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not like we blend into the crowd. One of us is green, so it's kind of apparent who we are.
And they might also know that I'm a Drow traveling with you, so that could also be a standout.
And I'm a halfling.
I will say that, Morgan, you especially would know this, the Vic Mordir mercenaries are entirely human. The vast majority of them are male. And there are male and female Drow of various persuasions here. Spellcasters, scouts, warriors, nobility, things like that. A couple of what you would think to be nobles. But a Verdin, a halfling, a female human in the form of Soraya, unless you got something really fancy up your sleeve, it'd be a hard sell to pass them off as friendlies.
I'd also like to point out I'm a nice emerald color. Emerald and jaded. Thank you. Not green.
That doesn't mean it's impossible. But you probably have to be creative.
We, of course, have a child. No one wants a child for a slave.
I think a lot of people would. But
What? Hold on! Who would want that? They are loud and they demand all your attention. They're going through...
Soraya's not a toddler. She's like, how old is she? Like 16? She's old enough.
God, that's like...
She's not a toddler. She's not gonna yell and scream, but I still wouldn't want to see any of us be slaves.
Wait, is yelling and screaming what qualifies as a toddler? Because... Points
No.
to Sophion.
Well...
Okay, whoa, halfling joke. You can't be pointing at me and saying that. That's just rude. Halfling's gonna rise up.
You yell and scream more than all of us combined. What is going on?
That shit was scary. So they want...
Sophion's a toddler, based on definition.
They want to they want to relinquish all of our weapons and abilities to cast spells and deliver us into Morgan's capable hands, who will then deliver us as slaves in an effort to find where the Moonstone is eventually. And they are 100% on board and trusting of Morgan, who killed 2 of her companions not the night before.
She said
I'm not 100% sure.
She gave us the word. Oh damn.
Okay, Soraya, since you were still asleep, okay, so we discovered that the villagers are not being kept in the castle. They're not being killed in the castle. They're being transported out of the castle once they get there. And so there was really technically no need for us to go into the castle because there's so many people in there, and I mean, the villagers might not even still be in there that we're looking for. They're getting transported somewhere. And so Morgan had the idea that we surrender ourselves as sacrifices and get put into one of the caravans, and she will be on the outside and we'll be on the inside and see where they get taken. But Sophian does not obviously like the idea of that, and I'm not 100% on board with it either. But
Okay,
I mean,
that is a lot. First of all, I do feel pulled by some sort of dark force. I don't know how long I can stay conscious, but while I am here, is there any other way for us to discover where they are taking these people besides giving ourselves up as sacrificial lambs?
I mean, I was
Morgan
thinking that
mentioned
maybe we
home.
could. Well, I was thinking maybe we could just go and follow the caravan at a distance ourselves, like without being taken.
I
But
think there must be a better way for us to discover that crucial piece of information rather than simply give ourselves up and put ourselves at such a disadvantage. If we are discovered, even if we are not, if we give ourselves up as slaves, if we give ourselves up and give up our weapons and our abilities, then even if we do discover where they are taking people, there's nothing we can do.
Out of character, was it Morgan that mentioned that they were going to the Underdark, or was it DM that mentioned they were going to the Underdark?
That was Morgan.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. I was just clarifying. I'm pretty sure Morgan mentioned home.
yeah, she did say that they're being taken to the Underdark, but she doesn't know exactly. Did you say you knew where the entrance to the Underdark they were being taken was?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so
I did not say.
So
I mean, do you know of any entrances near here?
DM question: would I know of an entrance near here?
Or me?
Both of you came from a significant, like, weeks away journey and route to this location. So offhand, no, you do not know of any entrances to the Underdark relatively nearby.
But with my knowledge of history and books and knowing the dwarves who were in and out of the Underdark, would I possibly know of one near here? At least know that there is one near here.
It is
Or my Wanderer feature, where I have an excellent memory for maps and geography, and I can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around me.
Sure, this is what we'll do. So something as specific as locations of points of entry from the surface world to the Underdark and vice versa. That is hard to remember specific information from all the things you've read. So it's possible, Brian, but it'll be difficult. So go ahead and give me a history check.
Do it.
Very, very difficult. As far as
Mother F! Nope.
you are concerned, Lorelei, you definitely know where you've come from, and you know where you came out of the Underdark at. I would say that you have not come across any Underdark entrances since you've been on the surface world besides the one that you came from, because they are relatively few and far between, either because they are remote, people from the surface world, and people from the Underdark don't really like to be around them because of that, that cross-contamination and the problems it causes between them, just because it's two very different types of cultures. They generally avoid things like that. And the ones that are inhabited, for lack of a better term, it's usually because they're being guarded, either by someone inhabiting it intentionally, or some other powerful thing has made its home there that wants to go below and above and is dangerous in its own right.
Question. I have the double check marks, the super proficiency for history.
Okay.
Does that mean I roll with advantage? On those
No,
rolls, or does it
that
just
means
mean...
you should get double your proficiency bonus.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah. So
Bad.
history is intelligence, So it should be your intelligence mod plus double your proficiency mod.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I still flubbed it.
Yeah, you rolled an 8. No, you know that there was activity in this region. There's been a lot of movement between the dwarves and the upper world in centuries past, especially around these mountains, the Spears of Arnut. But any specific points of entry escapes you.
I have an idea that is probably less dangerous than Morgan's, but is still with a bit of danger. But we do have someone who can easily disguise themselves amongst their ranks, and who in an emergency can turn themselves into a small creature that can easily be overlooked. I'm talking about you, Sophian. Same joke.
I love it. I'm in. Let's do this.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that because I don't know any of their. I was actually considering if I were to change into something ahead of time and just go run around the halls and see what I can see. But if I get caught, I will be in the midst of it.
Yeah, you
And
did.
I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if any of us have a way to communicate over long distances. Yes.
Well, Brian can do that little brain thing, can't you?
Oh yes. What is your range on that?
It's like 30 feet.
Oh, okay.
Unhelpful. I have potentially a way to signal. If you take my drift globe and you press this button on it here, well, if you are surrounded by Drow, A, it would be very easy to see that something has gone wrong, and B, it could give you a moment of advantage. But
the only thing I'm
everyone will know
worried
you are there.
Yeah, is I mean, if I go something really small and I get stepped on, I'm done. If they have any magic users, they would probably know if they're attentive enough. Oh, it's so hard.
I say try
What
it
about
out.
a rat?
First that could happen.
I mean, I could be a rat, I could be a tiny spider, I could be
Cockroach.
I don't know if I can be a cockroach. I mean, probably.
But I think if I were to see a spider, I would step on it. If I were to see a rat in a castle,
kick it.
well, I would think there are often
Eat it.
rats in castles.
Yeah, especially in basements at the very least.
Yes.
Be like a hamster, guinea pig of some sort.
You know who would know what animals might look? The normal hallways of the castle. Looks to Morgan.
Morgan, what would you or your the people that you've talked to here do if they saw a rat wandering the halls?
Or a guinea pig.
A rat would probably be dark practice.
Okay.
All right.
You'd probably have a better chance as a spider,
I still
since the
think we
Drow
would have.
venerate spiders.
Oh,
Oh, that's true.
that is a good thing to know.
How do you not know, Lorelei? It's not your people.
Well, yeah, but I don't associate. Okay. I mean, I'll do it if you guys think that it would be okay. I'll try at the very
Yeah,
least.
go for it. What's the worst that
I
can
still
happen?
think
Do it.
Let me hit the DM pause button for 1 second here. I think we're losing Sammy again.
Oh no, Sammy's falling into a coma.
Oh no.
Going to sleep.
Sammy's getting really tired. I'm gonna turn off his camera in case things get crazy.
This is me after my second dose.
Okay, so I am gathering that you're discussing what to do, trying to come up with a way to do general scouting. 100% cool. Keep riding that wave. I am curious if there is anything in specific you want to know along with that you're looking for, because maybe Morgan already knows it or not.
I mean, I know we want to know where the caravan is going.
Okay.
How many are still alive?
Yes.
How many are still here and alive?
Yes.
That too.
I don't know if we could break them out if they're here. The castle's probably too crazy.
Well, also, didn't we tell the mayor that we would go to this point and try to get them back? I feel like we're taking on another task by moving forward.
I mean, I don't think that we can go back at this point and just say, well, they were in the Underdark, you know?
I mean, we could. That is a thing that could happen.
But I mean, we can technically, potentially have the capability of saving them if we go to the Underdark. But it'll be a adventure in and of itself. So I know we definitely want to know where the caravan goes, at least what direction it goes in. A location would be nice. If there are any left alive, which there should be if they haven't done the sacrificing here. And maybe if we can catch any rumors of the moon shard. I don't know if they'll be talking about that. So.
Or any rumors of where the entrance to the cave is.
Yeah, I mean, well, Morgan, did you ever see the caravans leave? What direction did they go in? Did they go towards the mountains?
Morgan, you would know that they, at least initially, because they always left at night, so it was hard to track them for long from the castle walls and other places you would have seen them. They did appear to go north, at least at first, for this first several hundred feet. They were traveling under the cover of darkness, and they didn't light their way, so you couldn't track them very far at all. Which, I mean, that didn't even get them off of the plateau that Adric's Folly was on. So that doesn't really tell you much. So, let's see. I'm going through your questions here, stuff that you would know, Morgan. Feel free to verbalize this however you would like to, or withhold this from them if you like, because you have your reasons or not. So, you already clarified you don't know where it goes, obviously. And how you've seen it leave, at least it goes north for a little bit. Not that that means much. The last time you came through before this shift, there were several dozen prisoners in the ballroom, which is on the first floor of the main building of the keep, the castle. It's kind of in the center. There were several dozen of them. Nobody speaks about the relic. It was hard for you to get any information about it at all, which is why you had to cozy up to who you had to get the information you did have, and also why it was so delayed. So it's catching people randomly talking about it. They probably have to find their way to Thizasta or Mayna's chambers undetected and maybe hear them talking about it, or who knows what else. That would be difficult. Very difficult to go that far undetected because of just how aware and how self-possessed and how powerful they seem to be to you. But nothing's impossible. Was there any other questions that I missed?
Can you guys think of any besides those? So, direction / location, moonshard, whether or not there's anyone left in the castle.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, Morgan, you have that information. Feel free to respond how you like.
Okay. What question did you ask me first?
What direction?
As far as I could tell, they were going north, but my eyesight is only so good at night. But they could have changed course beyond the first couple hundred feet, and I wouldn't have known.
Okay. Well, at least that's something if we can't get anything else. And then, do you know right now if there's any I mean, I guess you wouldn't if they just brought some back while we were asleep. But do you know if there's any prisoners still left in the castle anywhere, or have they all been taken at this point?
Oh no, no, there's still prisoners. The next caravan isn't for another 3 days, so there were a few dozen in the hold.
Where is the
Last
hold?
time I saw.
Is it in the basement, or is it like a completely separate?
Where are they keeping them?
It was in the
The basement?
ballroom on the first floor. So in order to get there, you would have to come up the passageway into the basement. There's several rooms down there, and then go either left or right along a left-right passageway and up some stairs. Either come up on the ground floor on the left side of the building or the right side of the main building. It's a pretty big building. The right side would be closer. That would put you up by the kitchens and the dining area. There's only a few doors to get to the ballroom where they are from there. But that is also, the ballroom is kind of in the center near the hub of where the Zasta maintains authority when she is awake, because the throne room is right next to it. And so while the ballroom itself isn't really guarded because they don't have that many people to go around such a big place, they're mostly concerned with the perimeter. You have to be very careful if you're going to try and get in there undetected and leave undetected.
They're being kept in the ballroom, which is next to the throne room, first floor.
What if I was a spider, but you went in, and I went in with you on your clothes, and you tried to figure out any information since they would potentially trust you better, and then if we need to get into any doors that are locked, I could try to peek under them and see what is inside of them. I'm not sure if that would be an option.
What information are you wanting me to try to find?
I just want to know, I mean, is it even worth it to go in the castle at this point? Because we know that they go north. I don't know if you're going to be able to get any information about the exact location, because I don't think that they would be talking about that just out in the open, right?
No, they wouldn't, and definitely not to a non-drow.
I would go in as a drow, but I feel like they would see through me immediately because I'm not a familiar face, and I would just pop up in their midst, you know? Ugh. I really don't know. I really don't know. Brian, Sophian, do we want to be taken in, or do we want to hide and follow a caravan in 3 days, or?
How often do the caravans come and pick up people?
About every week and a half or so.
How many people do the caravans hold? Or like, how many people at a time do they transport?
Quite a few. I would say it kind of depends on how many people they've captured.
That is true. The last one that you saw was probably one of the biggest, and you've only seen 2 or 3, and that one had about 100 people, not including the escorts.
Up to 100 people.
That's a lot.
100 captives. Yeah. Which is why it'd be so easy for you guys to kind of like meld in.
How often do they capture more prisoners to take here in order to transport?
That I don't know. That's not my department. I don't do any of the capturing.
Okay, so you wouldn't know whether or not all of the prisoners that are here are from the village, or if they're just from all over.
I know that there's some from Rabalka here. I don't know if where like every single person is from now.
I'm wondering if between the time it's taken us to get here versus the time that they were captured, if they've all been transported or not. Or if there's a way to gauge that without going inside.
I mean, if she says that they're kept in the ballroom, then we would have to go inside to see if there's any left. Right?
How long ago were they all taken?
It's been maybe a week at this point. Right? Like 5-6 days since the first initial attack, I guess.
Then
So
I would
they-
imagine that they're all still here. The last caravan was like 7 days ago.
Okay, so the ones that are here would potentially be only the ones from the village, if that's correct. If it's only been a week since they were taken, and the last one left a week ago, there's no way they got here that fast. Right?
Well, they
Like,
come on
within a day?
gargoyles, so. really
Yeah,
not
I'm-
long.
We had just heard the gargoyles coming over. We had heard them.
Like a couple days ago.
Yeah. So if that was just a couple days ago, it wasn't a week ago.
Well, it sounds like it's worth it to go and check inside to see how many of the villagers are inside.
I
It'd be a different
guess.
story of how to get them out, though.
I mean, I don't feel like fighting however many people are in there with just us. But I could ask for some help
From
from the trees if we need it.
True. Well, I say we go with the spider plan, whether Morgan goes in with Lorelai or not. Lorelai can kind of scope out to see how many of the villagers are counted up in the ballroom. And then once she returns, we can kind of make up a new plan at that point. Because they're not
think-
killing them here, so at least we have a little bit more time.
Yeah, I think it would be smarter for Morgan to go in with me because I don't know where I'm going, and if I happen to get turned around, then I'll just be lost. So Morgan, how would you feel if you went in and then I went in as a spider and we just strolled past the ballroom? Would they be suspicious of that? Like, is there like something you could say you were going to go do, like go to somewhere else in the castle?
Bathroom, ate spicy food.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I could come up with some kind of excuse.
Does the ballroom have doors, or is it just a wide open space?
Morgan, it's a wide open space. It's pretty large. About let's see. Can't see this right now. Hold on. I won't lie to you. It's about 60 by 60, 60 by 70 or so. And there's 6 big pillars in the middle. And there's a few doors that lead into this area. And then one of the double doors that leads out from the ballroom goes into the throne room. But like I said, the remainder of them are... There's a little atrium, like entranceway, kind of off of it. Kind of the front door to the main building. And then if you were to come up from the basement on that side of the building, you'd be coming through the kitchen area. And then there's some workrooms and stuff before you could get into the ballroom. The only potential issue with this plan that you can think of is the ballroom doors are typically locked since they aren't actively guarded by individuals. You'd have to get through the lock somehow. That being said, you know, with the secret passage, the door that you come through to get into there, that's a secret door built into the wall. And every now and then walking around Adric's Folly, you've seen these suspicious cracks, knowing better than to investigate while there's people around. But there's also maybe secret entrances to it, maybe not. If you can't get through a locked door, it's kind of hard to say.
How long would I have to get through a locked door before someone would see me?
Well, it's the kitchens, they're active during the day, not so much at night. So right now the kitchen area probably isn't very active, neither is the workrooms. There's always a chance somebody might be roaming around doing something. More so the Vicmordir during the day. The Drow are relatively few in number. So you would probably think it's possible to get in and out without being seen if you have a fair amount of stealth and luck.
Or Lorelai could crawl under the door.
Yes.
I was gonna
Or
say, are there
Laurel-
any like cracks or windows that Lorelai could crawl through as a spider?
You would know that Lorelai can crawl underneath the doors relative easy or through the cracks around them. As far as the ballroom is in the center of the building. It's not on any of the outside walls, so there's no windows or anything like that to it.
Okay.
And then the three of us could just hang out here in the dwarven sarcophagi and hide in case the next watch comes by.
Done deal.
All right. Are we satisfied with that plan?
How long can you stay as a spider?
Indefinitely. Actually, there's probably actually a time frame. Hold on, let me double check that.
I think it's like an hour each time you cast it, but you get like a certain amount of casts per level. If I'm correct.
That sounds accurate. I'm not entirely certain. But you do have a description, so you're good there.
I can stay in B shape for 2 hours.
There you go.
Okay.
Morgan, do you know how long it'll take you to get in, have Lorelai look around, and then get out?
Not 2 hours.
As in, it will take less than 2 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's a solid plan. It's all we got right now.
Okay.
DM, would we recall how many villagers were taken versus how many villagers, like, we need to keep count of here?
They know how many were missing of the people that live there. Remember, there were also a lot of transients coming through for the ceremony that evening. Of the people from Rabalka that were missing, there was about 20. The village was plussed up on occupancy, so considering how few there were left over, relatively speaking, probably double that number total, not including those from the surrounding region that may have been captured at the same time, minus some that were killed in the process. Kind of a fluid number, but what Morgan's saying about a few dozen, it makes sense. 30 to 50-ish.
Would it be reasonable to assume that all of them, assuming that we have the correct group, that all of them would be from that night that were kidnapped, if Lorelai can recognize like a handful of their faces?
Well, I would say that Lorelai will recognize who Lorelai recognizes. You as players and characters, you're welcome to assume whatever you like.
Okay. Just making sure we're not going to throw our lives on the line for a group of people who's only like 5 of them are what we need.
Okay, what's our plan if we get there, we see them, what do we do? Do we come back here? Do we...
Come back here, we'll discuss further.
Mm-hmm.
We should come up with a full-fledged plan. We need to make sure that these are the people that we want to rescue first, because if they're here, it might be a little bit easier. If they're in the Underdark, that will be a little bit more tricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we need to determine if they're here or not first.
Okay. All right, Morgan, you wanna get going?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right,
Okay.
Sophion, I put my hands up next to a sarcophagus, like ready for it to like, hup.
What? Why don't we go outside? Isn't it like right over there? When I go like, I mean that the dwarf is up there too. We could say hi again, or I don't know.
We already
Kick
said
a-
goodbye. That's kind of awkward.
Yeah, but it's been a day, so the awkwardness is left. We can kick a ball around, enjoy the sun, maybe have a picnic.
I mean, to be fair, it's only been about 8 hours, but yeah.
It's been long enough for it not to be awkward.
Whatever you'd like, Sophion. I'm sure Soraya will agree to whatever. I'm sure Soraya would probably prefer to be in a church than in a sarcophagus.
Yeah, we'll put Soraya in the sarcophagus. But yeah, just let me know when things pick up. I'll start heading back up.
Well, I'll stay here to keep an eye out for you guys, and then I will just try and telepathy Sophia when we're done. So, good luck.
Okay. I'm gonna cast, before I switch into a spider, I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace. And then I'm gonna change into an ink blot spider and crawl up on to Morgan's clothes.
Okay. You got it. I'm assuming you have the stats for that? Okay, good to know. Alright, so Lorelei practically disappears, and after 30-45 seconds or so, you feel her on your neck, startling you at first, Morgan, and before you realize what's going on. So, Brian, Soraya, and Sophion, y'all are going to hang out in the chapel, or down here in the crypt?
So, Soraya and I are going to hang out in the crypt. I'm going to help Soraya into one of the sarcophagi, just so that she's hidden asleep.
Okay.
And not going to be bothered, and then I will also hide in one of the sarcophagi.
Okay, you got it.
I'll put my bedroll down before I put her into the sarcophagi, so that it's not as dirty.
Oh, kindness points. I like it. And Sophion, you're gonna go hang out with Alexandria?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, if there is anything, we're gonna proceed with the infiltration. If there's anything that y'all would like to do or talk about with them, we'll just think about it and then we'll tackle it after. Just let me know. Okay, so let me give you the layout here, Morgan. For the purposes of this, obviously I have a map if we were to ever need one. We don't need one for this. You know, we can theater the mind this because you're kind of moving through here. And I'll tell you what you know, and then you tell me what you'd like to do with that information. Easy enough. Lorelei is going to be on your shoulder unless otherwise stated. And here we go. So, I need a couple of roll tables up here.
You have a +10 to stealth if you have to roll stealth.
I'm definitely gonna have to roll stealth, and we'll use Morgan's because you're just riding on Lorelei. Okay. All right. So it takes you 10 minutes or so to walk down the secret passage. Go ahead and give me the stealth check. And we'll use one for the basement unless the situation changes, and then when you go up on the next level, we'll get another one, okay?
24.
I'll be at 34.
34. Nice. Okay, now I need you to roll me a d20.
Four.
Okay. So, you come to the end of the passageway and you see it's walled off, which you know to be a secret door. You find the small stone crevice on the left side for a handle, pull it forward, it silently swings open, being as well crafted as it is, and you creep through the portal, close the door behind you, and you are now in the dark basement. So, here in the basement, going off to your left and to your right, this hallway you're in the middle of stretches about 300 feet from one end to the other. You don't have to worry about the absolute measurements for anything right now. I'm just giving you a sense of the scale, okay? Down here in the basement, you know that off to your right, which is the direction you're not planning on going, there is an ancient vault for the crypt, a massive iron locked door. There is some small offices that have been converted into a makeshift quarters room for the leader of the mercenaries. There is an old abandoned dungeon where they would keep prisoners that nobody goes in because of the mysterious dead influence that seems to pervade everywhere around here. And likewise, the same thing for a lower barracks type area that's over there as well. Directly in front of you, a little bit to the left and to the right, across from you, there is an armory where the Vic Mordier keep their weapons, and then a storage room, which largely consists of ancient trophies such as taxidermied animals, banners, things like that, trinkets from the time past here. The current inhabitants aren't using it. Further down the hallway off to the left, the direction that you are planning on going, all the way at the end, there's the set of stairs that rise up to the first floor of the keep. Just before you hit those stairs, there is a pantry that is largely in disuse. but it's a decent sized room. There's a bunch of clutter in there. And then off to the other side, there's a well room where it's a natural well where they pull up water for the keep. And that is being used to supply water. So you're standing here at this crossroads. Left is the direction you want to go for the shortest, probably easiest route to the ballroom. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll go left.
Okay. Are you going to go straight to the stairs, or are you going to do something else?
I'm gonna go straight to the stairs. Oh no, hold on. I need to bind my chest first.
Okay.
That I'm gonna do it again. And then I'm gonna go straight to the stairs.
All right. So, being at night, the majority of the Vicmordir are sleeping. Those that aren't are probably manning the walls. There may be some that are up late, kind of drinking, carousing, gambling throughout. And there's also the chance you'll run into the odd Drow on some type of official business or going from one place to another. Thankfully, you quietly dash down this long hallway to the stairs without any issue at all. So you walk up the stairs and you are now in this probably 30 by 30 room with a table. It's kind of a storage area for the kitchens. The kitchen consists of 3 tables altogether, supply all the food needs for this massive place. But you're in this one from the stairs. There's nobody around right now. You don't hear anything. I need another stealth check at this point and another d20.
Oh, a 27 with Lorelei's plus 10.
Okay.
And then an 18.
All right. So this room has 3 doorways. One goes outside into the grassy area around the main building within the walls of the keep. One goes into the proper kitchen area where there's these 6 large stoves and some long tables and all sorts of associated foodstuffs. And then there's one off to the right, which is the ideal door to take. The problem is with that ideal door to the right, it leads to another room similar to yours before, beyond that, the little workshop type rooms. You hear the sounds of human males kind of cursing jovially, and you hear the scattering sound of dice as you approach this door. It's not altogether unlikely that some of the Vicmordir are spending some of their meager wages and enjoying a few drinks and camaraderie at this late hour.
Can I tell him how many? Do I think there's like 3 or under, or 4 or more?
Give me a perception
tell
check.
that.
You hear at least 3 voices, maybe 4 if 2 of them sound similar.
Okay. How much will going through the kitchen-y door add to the trip?
So this route would be preferred because it's the least visible. If you can get through this next room where there seems to be people carousing at, there is a single hallway with workshops off to either side, about 50 feet or so long. At the end of it is a locked door that goes straight into the ballroom. If you don't go that way, you go through the main kitchen area. There's a doorway that leads to, off the other side, there's a doorway that leads to the atrium, the entrance area. It's a large atrium with pillars, and there's always burning torches in there. Most of the time it's guarded. Not always, because the Vicmordir seem a little bit lackadaisical about guarding it. From the atrium, there is another locked doorway directly into the ballroom from the south. There's also a doorway directly into the throne room, which is not locked.
Okay. I'll take my chances with the gambling guys in the most ideal door.
Okay. So, gathering your thoughts, You crack open the door a little bit to see if they notice. Initially, they don't, so you close it a little bit and then confidently walk into the room like you own the place. And they stop what they're doing and they snap up, startled at first. Hey, what's Captain Morgan? We're just you want to have a go? We're just throwing dice and drinking some ale.
Maybe catch me later. I need to walk off this dinner.
Hi,
It's not sitting well with me.
All right. Was it Roderick with you? Because he couldn't play tonight because he had duty in the passage.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said he was with you and Henry.
Oh, no, I don't think so. He must have been trying to get with the handmaiden that works in the kitchen.
Okay, roll a deception check.
$16.
Right. They're gonna roll an insight check with disadvantage because they're drunk. $15. Son of a bitch, he owes me money. Oh, God, no wonder. I didn't think. What? Oh, well. Alright, well, yeah, well, we'll be here if he wants to take your coin. Alright,
Alright, see y'all around.
Goes back, starts slinging dice again. The sound fades as you walk across the room into the hallway by the workshops. So, in this hallway, there's 4 rooms, 2 workshops on either side, and there's a small closet on the right side as well. The workshops themselves, let me double check this real quick. The workshops themselves here have like workbenches and tools and basically any common trade that you can find in any village or even a large city. You can find the implements for it here. Kind of built as a centralized crafting repairing station to sustain a long siege and just for daily upkeep. You don't hear anything from the halls, knowing that there's only a handful of craftsmen among the Vic Mordir here, since they're not planning on permanently inhabiting it here, and they mostly go in there to tinker, and at night they're either sleeping or otherwise occupied. So, at the end of the hallway is a locked door. You know this door leads to the ballroom. What are you gonna do?
I am going to walk up to the door and gently take the spider off my shoulder and kind of scoot it the crack under the door.
Okay. Lorelei, you get ushered down to the crack beneath the door as Morgan stands towering over you, looking down.
Okay, I will scoot just under the door. I don't want to go fully into the room yet, and I just want to see what I can see just from the door. I have 60 feet of dark vision as a spider.
Okay. There are a couple of torches lit in this room. There are some dark spots, but it's generally illuminated. Looking out from underneath the door, you see directly in front of you, 20 so feet away, there's a stairway rising up to the 2nd level. The wall is right next to you. So following that wall, there's another doorway leading off to some room. The ballroom obviously opens up to the left. You see 2 pillars standing 30 feet apart as the room opens up widely. And you do see, huddled within the center, from your perspective, a few backs and pairs of legs of people kind of crouched up, leaning against each other, huddling together in the dimly lit room.
Okay, but they're in the center of the room, right? They're not like up against a wall or something?
They are. They're in the center of the room. You see around the edges there are these kind of silvery rope type things. Not enough to actually stop anybody from getting through, but more just like an official do not pass this line zone for the captives. And they're strung up between the 2 pillars that you can see. You can't see the majority of the ballroom if Morgan's description of its size was to be believed. It looks like you're kind of on a little alcove on the right-hand side, looking out into like the top third of it.
Okay. So are they like directly in front of me, or you said they're like off to the left a little bit?
Yeah, if you were walking out of the door and turn 90 degrees left, you will see just the northern tip of the group, and they are 40 or so feet away. The
Okay.
closest ones of them.
Okay, I'm going to creep along the left wall then to get closer to them. I want to just use the shadows as much as I can. I don't want to go into the middle of the room at all. And then try to get as close as I can to be able to just see if I can see any faces without getting too close to be spotted by anything that might be watching.
Okay. So since you have dark vision, no disadvantage on the perception check, so give me your perception check and also a stealth check with advantage because you're super small spider in a big dark castle.
Okay, so perception as a spider. Oh, that's not good. That's an 11 for my perception.
Okay.
And my stealth. Do you say advantage for stealth?
I did.
Oh, hold on. Let me see what my stealth is for my spider. +5. So that is actually a 26. Or no. Yeah, 26.
Okay. I need a random encounter d20, just in case.
14.
Okay. So you creep along the wall. It's about 25 feet before you come to a corner. And now you can see the expansive hallway in all its glory, just as Morgan described. It was once absolutely stunning, but it has long since fallen into disrepair. Huddled in the center of these 6 pillars, kind of forming a rectangle, you do see several dozen. Quick glance, easily more than 30, probably pushing 50, and predominantly all men. There are a handful of faces you recognize from this far distance off. You're probably 20 feet or so away from the closest one. But here, huddled all together, it's kind of hard to make out individual faces. You do see some you recognize from Ribalka.
Okay. I'm just gonna turn around and go back. I'm not gonna get any closer.
Okay. Easy enough. You go back, scurry under the door. Either Morgan sees you or you climb up. Morgan, I don't know what you're doing here.
I'll climb up. Very slowly.
Can I see her?
You're looking for her. You can see her.
Okay. I'll just wait, like, feel the tickle on my neck. Like, alright.
Okay, so you got it. Alright, so Morgan is back in control since Lorelei is staying a spider for now. So, let's re-roll your stealth, Morgan. And I need another random d20, because you're switching zones again.
The 1 for stealth.
Okay. Well, what's your total? Because you can't
It'd be 16
mechanically...
total.
Okay, yeah, it's a big difference.
Okay.
You can't mechanically nat 1 or nat 20 a skill check. It's just usually opportunities for fun.
And a 2 for the d20 roll.
Okay, so Lorelei now on your shoulder. You make your way back down the hallway. You come back through the room where those big deer are gambling at, and their furs and long beards now dripping with ale. They look up at you and kind of wave and greet you, but they're far more engaged in their game than you are, since you passed without much to say earlier and you don't want to play with them. You make your way back into the other room and down the stairs into the basement. So, you're now at the head of this long hallway. You know that the secret door to the passageway is halfway down. Change zones again. Leave your stealth check because you've already rolled 3. Give me another random d20. You guys are getting lucky on d20s.
13.
Okay. So, is there anything else you're doing, or are you going to beeline for that secret door?
I'm gonna look around, see if I see or hear anybody. And
Okay.
then I'm gonna beeline to that door.
Okay. At this moment, you do not. You get out towards the center of the hallway, keeping your eyes and ears perked up, ready for anything. You push open the secret passageway. Cold air hits you. You start to step through. You do hear a door open from the direction of the captain's quarters, where the leader of the Vicmore Deer is. As you hear that door open, you silently close the secret passageway behind you and wait to hear any footsteps or shouts or cries. 10, 15, 20 seconds. Nothing happens. So, you didn't do anything from here? Or are you going to go back to your group?
Yeah, no, I'll go back to the group.
You make it back there without issue. Brian is lying in a sarcophagus while Soraya is sleeping in the other. Sophion's nowhere to be seen. The scene is yours.
Okay, I will climb off of Morgan's shoulder before I change out of wild shape.
Thank you.
And then I'll say, I thought you were gonna get caught there in the kitchen. That was so scary.
Oh no, when they're gambling, they really just kind of like to be left alone. So
Okay.
don't start them will be none.
All right, Brian. Oh, okay. I saw some people that I recognized from the village. I didn't want to go too close to them just in case one of them is afraid of spiders or something else was watching in the ballroom that I didn't see, like a cat or like a bird or something. I don't know what castle creatures are. But I did see some people that I recognized from the village, so that makes me think that maybe at least some of them haven't been taken away yet.
That's good news. At least we know that some of them are here. We could at least figure out something for some of them. Let me see. How far away is the castle? Not the castle. The church.
From where you are?
Yeah.
Memory's not serving me. About 50
feel like
feet or so.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like I've talked to Soraya from here before, but
Sophion?
no, I feel like when Soraya was up there by herself with Alexandra before, that's okay. I'll like kind of go up a little bit and get within 30 feet and be like, Sophion, poke, come on down, and then walk back.
What? Where'd you go? What? Why? Thought we were straight up chilling. Okay, fine. God. Walk down. Jeez.
Okay. You leave Alexandra. She's exhausted. She's in good spirits. She heard about your plan, Sophion, the little bit that you shared. And she's really hopeful that y'all will find Kevin and make everything that y'all have gone through and she's gone through.
God damn it, he gave the husband a name.
She already told you Kevin.
Yeah, but
I don't
we
think we
didn't
knew the husband's
remember it.
name.
Yeah, y'all didn't remember it. She said it.
Oh.
Or I'm lying. I have video. I can go back and check.
I don't remember the husband ever having a name.
I think I remember it.
Yeah, husbands typically don't have names. We just kind of are there.
We just exist. Well,
Okay, so you make your way back, Sophion. Climb down the ladder into the crypt.
What we doing?
I checked in the ballroom, as we said, and I did recognize some people from the village, so at least there are some there. I didn't want to get too close, just in case, but I did recognize some people, so that is hopeful.
So, how are we going to get them out?
I don't know. I mean, would it be best to just... I don't know, do we want to break them out, or would it be better... I mean, I guess if they get taken to the underworld, the
That
Underdark,
sounds worse.
the Underdark, they will be definitely more heavily guarded than they were tonight.
Both terms are appropriate, by the way. They're kind of used interchangeably, Underworld and Underdark, just so you know.
So do we want to try to break them out now? Do we want to try to... Maybe we could wait and see if... Well, no, the caravan leaves in 3 days. Right? Did you say it leaves in 3 days? Since it hasn't been a full week yet since the other one left?
Yeah, It's been a week since the other one left, but they're like every 10 days or so.
Oh, every 10 days. Okay, so yeah, it's not going to leave yet. So I don't know if we want to wait and attack the caravan and try to get them.
If the
Or
if the caravan comes back, either we wait till the caravan leaves a good distance, but then that's the complete other way with stronger armies protecting the caravan, or we do it now before the caravan gets here so that they don't have backup from the people from the caravan.
yeah, my only problem is that there was a lot of people in the kitchen when we went. They were drunk and gambling, but I mean there were people awake. I mean, obviously not as many as if it was daytime.
Well,
but...
look, you're a druid. You know plants and shit, right? They look like an undisciplined lot. Why don't you go back to the forest, find something that will make them shit till they die, and then as a spider, you just drop it into their food. We kill them over a period of days.
I think that would be
Not a horrible plan, that's how you fish, right?
well, but over a period of days, they're gonna know.
By the
Are
time
they?
they
Not if they're
know,
dead.
like half of them are gonna be sick.
So we're going to create a pandemic in the castle.
Yes.
Why not?
I don't know if I like that. Because
Would you rather kill them all?
I'd rather kill them all in one fell swoop than kill them slowly over days while their army of people who go with the caravans are going to arrive and find them and know something's happening.
That's fair. Also, quick question. Sylveon, you're totally okay with poisoning and creating a pandemic within an entire castle of a whole bunch of people that we've never met that have literally done nothing to us yet, but you could not sacrifice one single drow person?
It's a difference. There's killing someone, and then there is the non-consensual taking over of someone's body for an indefinite period of time. I would rather die than have someone possess me, and I not have the faculties to be able to do what I want with my own body. It's all about, I guess, you know, what, I just would rather die. I will provide the same thing for them.
There's so many questions.
Morgan, give me an insight check, real quick. While you're listening to this conversation.
Oh,
22.
22. Okay. Well, that settles that. So, knowing what you know about the way that food is created and dispersed and everything and fed out to all the people, the only way that you would be able to target specifically your enemies, so to speak, would be someone dropping these things into their food bowls after they take them from the kitchen, because in the kitchen everything is created and prepped together communally, and so that any poison you were to put into the communal pot would also be going to the prisoners.
Ooh.
Okay. So, flaw in that plan is we would have to be present to poison the Vicmordir and the Drow, or else you're gonna blanket poison everybody.
So,
what if
is
Lorelai just turned
every-
into like a super diseased bug or something and then just swam around in all of the enemy dishes before they ate them?
What if I get eaten?
oh well.
Gotta swim fast.
I would also clarify the Vicmordir. The Drow don't eat amongst the Vicmordir, and they don't eat the same thing. They eat in their own chambers, their own food. That's already kind of prepackaged and rationed. So you have to have access to their food if you wanted to apply this to them as well.
The
Use a
only-
poison that doesn't kill.
The only way that I could see this working, if we wanted to poison them, if that was an option, would be
Sounds like an
to
option.
do the water source instead of the food
Sounds good.
and put that drow poison in the water.
Well, I don't know if I don't think we have enough for the drow poison. You're a druid. We have the forest. Go forest.
I'm not gonna go all the way back out to the forest just to get some poison and bring it back.
Isn't it right over there? Aren't there
But there's
plants around here?
We're on a plateau.
Here's a question.
I would have to go foraging. It might take me hours.
Here's a question
That's
for
okay.
Morgan. Is there any way we could get them to do an evacuation?
Yeah, could we do like a distraction? Like, could we set something on fire outside to get them to leave?
I feel like they would just have a magic user quench the fire.
Magic users suck.
No, I
Don't
mean,
they?
I mean, is there anything else that we could do to get them to evacuate? Not just a simple fire that could be put out with lots of water or magic.
You just run past the gate naked.
Or eat.
That'll make them evacuate for sure.
That'd make me
Yeah.
evacuate for sure.
You're all so mean. God damn. Why do I hang with y'all?
Or even
Sophia,
something-
you dish it right back. I don't want to hear it.
Or even something that would lure them into one room, or lure them into a few specific rooms if we planned it right, to get them all in one place roughly, or in multiple one places. Because if we could handle getting them into places individually or in one big place in general, that might make it a little bit easier to either get rid of all of them or to put something in place while they're distracted.
Okay, how are we gonna do that?
I don't know how I don't know how we would get them into like different rooms.
Yeah, that seems
Are
very
there-
unlikely.
Well, no, I mean, are there, and like, a lot of armies like have protocols. Like, if there's some sort of level of emergency, or if there's something going on that's a specific degree of danger or
But I feel like
secret,
their
then they'll sentence them to rooms or barracks.
But I feel like their first method of, if there was something important like that, would be to guard the prisoners, is the thing. They would obviously send so many people to the prisoners to be sure they don't leave, right?
But even if they send something to the prisoners, we would know that that's their protocol, and we could put something else in place while they do that.
Like what?
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like our ability to manipulate their troop movements is going to be limited with our stealth capabilities and such. I mean, you can start a fire, but a fire can be put out because of fucking magic people.
Not talking about fires.
Okay, then what? Because you have to have a baseline for this plan.
Well, that's what I'm asking Morgan. If there's anything that we could do, like smells or fumes or gases or not fires, because everyone has such a problem with fire nowadays, or leaks or infestations or anything else, or rumors of a plague that could get them all to escape into one area or to do a specific thing, so we know exactly what they would do in that protocol, so that we could put something else in place, like poisoning water or poisoning food or doing something else in particular. If we know what their plans are for specific protocols, then we could possibly come up with a plan to do something when they do those specific protocols.
Morgan, could you have a kind of employee's handbook that you can maybe copy and provide us? If you can just go get that, bring it back, that would be lovely.
She's just gonna pull one out of her boobs.
Yeah, I'll just have Kinko's fax one over.
There we go. That's what we needed.
Kinko's the
Kinko.
premier maker of sending stones in this world, yes.
Sponsor us, Kinkos.
I don't.
Not Kinko's, it's Kinkies. You just gotta-
Yeah.
I don't know that there would be anything that you guys could do like distraction wise that would ruffle Maina or disaster enough to get everyone like in one spot or like to
Wait.
cause like an evacuation or something.
What? Who were those people that you just said?
Well, they're the ones running this operation.
Are they Drow?
Yes.
Copy.
Yeah, can you just change them to humans? So there's two of them, you said. Do you know
Like-
what kind of magic they use? Or what their specialty is? Have you ever seen them fight?
No, but I've seen them mad, and I don't want to ever see that again. They seem
Yeah.
very powerful to me.
Okay,
Something
well, that's
Morgan's scared of.
had to be something. That doesn't bode well if there are two powerful drow guarding the prisoners too, besides just the... I mean, obviously we knew that there would be, right? But I just...
A powerful drow?
Okay, Sophian, I see how it is.
What? I'm just, like, you ain't like super powerful.
I'm working on it.
I know, you're young. Don't let me get you down, kid. You got this. It's gonna be great. You're gonna be powerful like the evening sun.
There is no sun in the evening.
That's how powerful you are. Barely noticed. Non-existent. Oh god.
So then, what do we think?
Lorelai
is
will
our
remember
plan?
that.
Don't know.
I have no idea. I mean, at this point, I'm wondering if it would just be best to offer ourselves up because we can't wait the 3 days. I mean, we could wait the 3 days, but is there even a point to waiting the 3 days for the caravan to get here? Because they're gonna bring more troops with the whoever they send with the caravan, right? So I feel like we shouldn't wait the 3 days, but I also don't think that we currently have the power to go up against every person in this castle to get these prisoners out. I mean, I don't have a way of transporting a massive amount of people from one place to another.
All this way and up by this.
Morgan, give me an insight check, please.
Oh,
12. Racking your brain, things like distractions, assaults, those aren't really your specialty. In your experience, the things that have worked best when you're trying to get something you shouldn't have typically rely on skills such as stealth, subterfuge, deception, interpersonal conflict, exploiting weaknesses in those things. So, along those lines, something that hasn't been suggested that may be worth discussing at least is attempting to manipulate or exploit the, at best, uneasy alliance between the Drow and the Vicmordir. As you ponder that, we're going to take our break. Because it's past break time, and I want to keep on good time tonight. So, we're going to take our break, everybody. Buy our break, stretch, friends, all that great stuff. We will see y'all when you get back. I have no idea what they're going to do. But that makes me really excited as always. And we're going to find out. So
We don't know either.
We never know.
See y'all.
Nope.
All right. So, we're back. And our brave characters were discussing how best to approach the situation at Adric's Folly. The moon shard apparently is gone. It has been absconded somewhere that is unknown, which is not good because that was one of the things that the people of Rabalka and each of your characters really needed. But the good news is it seems that some, if not all, of the missing villagers are still on the premises, at least for a couple more days. You were talking about various options on how to proceed. Morgan had a little bit of a light bulb that may or may not be the right color, but that's where we left off, so that's where we're going to pick up, and I'm going to pitch it back to you.
Yeah, so give me a second. I'm coming up with 32.33 repeating, of course, percentage survival.
All right, let's do this.
How do you get them out exactly?
Oh, let's go. What?
How are you getting this math?
My head?
I don't know how much we trust this number.
Trust it. Let's do it.
Okay, so what are our options? We go in there, kill everyone, take the villagers and leave. We try to do a distraction, go in there, get the villagers, leave.
What if we give you weapons, right? Weapons are kind of, they go into your little druidy body thing, no matter how much weight you gain, right?
I mean, yeah, they just kind of absorb, but I mean, I still get, like, slow if I carry too much.
What if we, like, just provide weapons and such for the prisoners? Means to get out of said prison, too.
That would also require Lorelai to untransform, give them the weapon, and then retransform if there are people in the room watching, or things in the room watching. That could give us away.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think
If
it's
they're-
worth risking.
Well, I think that they would be more inclined to scream if a drow randomly appeared in their midst holding
God,
a sword.
why do you gotta be a drow?
I'm sorry. I was born this way.
Can we, like, paint you to look like a regular elf or something? I don't know.
Brian carefully kind of like slowly kind of pops in. I hear green is a very in color.
Let's try green.
Slowly backs up.
I mean, did Morgan tell us about her idea?
I am.
No.
What if you as a spider just deliver a little note so that they can have it that will explain our plan and situation, so that when you come back as the evil drow, which should be killed on sight, they won't.
What
But I
if-
can't carry a piece of paper as a tiny spider.
What if you as a spider sneak into where the kitchen is, turn into a rat, like find a good secret hiding place, retransform into a rat, and shit in their stew?
I think that should happen
Without-
regardless.
I don't think I can go from animal to animal. I think I have to go animal.
Yeah,
back
that's why you find a
myself
hiding.
in an animal.
That's why you find a hiding
And-
place.
The
And how does
kitchen
that-
is full of people.
How does
Right?
that work too? Like, do you shit in proportionate to what you've ingested as
All
a
right, that
human?
is not
or,
the topic of conversation we are on right now. We will discuss that at another date.
Yeah, just thinking about, like, thermodynamics and, like, you know, the property of energy
What
and,
the hell is with thermodynamics?
I'll kinda like- I'll
thermodynamics.
kind of like put my arm around Sophia. Do you think it smells? You know how like shit smells like what we've eaten. Do you think if she transforms, the animal shit will smell like what she's eaten before, but not as an animal?
No, it's very odd now that I think about it, right? If she eats something, right, it's matter converted into energy, but if she gets smaller, does matter change into its smaller form? Is that even possible?
Yeah,
Oh my god, Lorelai, you are ruining everything.
You're
Ah.
ruining everything. Why are you talking about this?
this shit's important.
You see
All
the fun there?
right. Morgan, can you think of any other ways that we might
I've
do
offered my
this?
suggestion. You guys don't want to do it.
What the?
Like, get naked and have ourselves be turned in.
I mean, I don't know. Could we?
Actually, I am now okay with this plan. Let's do it. And
It'd be
he'll
a lot
start
easier for you to turn into a rat when we're inside, because they won't expect that.
taking off his clothes. Let's just go there.
Well,
Okay, we're not
we
getting
can
naked.
merge my plan and y'all's plan and have Lorelai have a whole bunch of weapons, transform into a spider, ride one of you guys, stay a spider on one of y'all. Y'all can explain the plan to the villagers so they don't freak out when she transforms back. And then when she transforms back, everyone has weapons. We can
I like this.
overthrow the caravan between Adric's Folly and where it needs to go.
I'm into this. Let's do it.
That way
I'm-
we only have a dozen people we need to fight as opposed to 50. And we have more people on our side.
Here's my armor, Lorelei. I'll put it in my backpack and shit.
Well, the only other thing is this also means that we would have to assume that for the remainder of us, the people inside the castle would not know who we are. And I don't know about everyone else, but Sophion is pretty Sophion. I don't know that you can mistake Sophion for anybody else.
You're green. You're the only green person on the land.
I mean, could we
I
possibly
camouflage
turn...
with the ground. I don't know what you.
Like, we want there to be some sort of, like, we want to, the best way would be to attack them from the inside out, correct? If we're not going to just barge in through the front door. So,
Probably.
could we, Morgan, do you know of anyone who might be like, I fucking hate the Drow, I will help you? Or something like that? Like, could we get someone to help us carry weapons in? Like, do you know anyone who's like, fuck the Drow, I want to go home?
Well, I mean, the Vigmordia are mercenaries, so the right amount of coin can...
I don't have any coin.
Oh yeah, we poor as hell. Like, this whole thing is all about us just making some bank.
Well, do we have anything that we got from the village? What did we get?
Not much.
Not much.
What? So they were talking about capturing us at the beginning anyway, or at least me.
Yeah.
And not killing me.
I mean,
Well,
right now,
towards the end.
right now I'm only seeing them wanting to capture us and take us into the Underdark.
Which is fine. At least we'll be with the people, but then we'll have the ability to have weapons. We'll be fine. Let's go with it. You want to rock, paper, scissors it?
I really don't want to make the wrong decision and have this all go poorly and we all die. Because I can be a spider and I can carry stuff, but I can't carry a lot of stuff still.
Maybe we only have you carry essentials like weapons and tools that we need, and leave armor and within reason, armor and protective stuff behind.
Yeah, Lorelei, to be honest, this hero thing that you're trying to do, you're gonna get a lot of people killed by the end of it. So you might
how
as
am I
well.
trying to be a hero? I just don't want us. I don't want us to die. Like, the villagers might die regardless, but I don't want to go in there and get my head chopped off.
Well, then let's just not go in there.
Yeah, like the whole hero aspect is we're trying to save these people.
Yes.
If we weren't trying to be a hero, we would go back home.
But that's our mission. You want to just give it up and go back and say, oh, we bitched out. We couldn't do it.
Yeah. If it means I don't have my head on a pike, yeah.
And you would be fine with not getting any coin and potentially being kicked out of your village because of it.
Yeah, I mean, I could make more money elsewhere. How much money are we making here? Not much. We didn't sign anything on paper.
You're getting the mayor's house.
Yeah, but come on. Real estate properties as they are, like, the property value is going to degrade over a period of time. I haven't seen it, nor have I gotten the actual value of said property. I don't really know.
Especially with incidents of kidnappings.
Exactly. Like the town just got raided, all right? No one wants that town right now. So they'll have a difficult time trying to sell it, and I would have a difficult time trying to sell it too.
Well, it just doesn't sit right with me that we know that they're here and we're just gonna turn around and give up.
You want to be a hero, which is
so
totally
you just suddenly you are all gung ho to go in there, and then all of a sudden you just want to turn around and leave.
I've wanted that from the beginning. I'm here because
Brian, do you want to turn around and leave?
The others.
I mean, not particularly, but I mean, we only have like one good plan, and we're not even really confident at that as a group.
I mean, I wish Soraya was awake so that we could ask her, but she's freaking so tired.
Isn't she? Like, God. Like, you remember our conversations earlier on. I'm only here because you three wanted to save these people. And maybe get some coin at the end of it. I don't think these people are worth risking my life, but I think you three are worth risking my life for.
Wait.
That's
So
very
you
nice
just
of you.
say something nice to us?
No, fuck that. What? All I'm saying, Lorelai, is I think it's a good quality to have to be a hero. I'm not that. But also, as a hero, you're gonna get people killed.
Sophia,
There
think
isn't
of
a
it this way.
proof
We're not
plan.
asking you to be a hero. We're asking you to be a badass legend.
Yeah, I don't care about that either. All right, badass legends end up dead. Legends are mostly dead. There isn't a single living legend.
There's a
They
whole
all.
bunch in all my books.
Yeah, but are you a published author? I don't remember seeing your books out in the major cities. Like, it's fanfic at best right now. Oh, not to disparage your writing, but
Brian's
never even
gonna
read any.
murder you.
You haven't even read any of my content.
exactly.
Neither is anyone else.
Damn, Morgan. Damn.
I'm
Holy.
so sorry.
Oh God. Right.
Don't apologize for
Hold on, I'm just gonna
character
roll a D4
moments.
of
That's not how
psychic
that
damage
works.
really quick.
Oh no.
I'm gonna roll a D8 of confidence damage.
I think it's great that I really think it's great that Morgan says something that Julia apologized for.
Julia felt really bad about it.
No, it was great. It was great. On key. Brian's just gonna take out his little tiny notebook. Remind to take Sophion out of story. Morgan, I would have wrote a note about you, but I don't have you in my notes yet, so I'm just gonna leave that blank.
Well, I think the combination of plans is our best way forward.
So, infiltrating, giving them weapons.
Giving you weapons.
Well,
Give the people weapons. I got you, but yeah.
yeah, infiltrating with hidden weapons, and then giving them weapons, and then attacking from there.
Let's step by step. Let's see what the conditions of these people are, or if they're even able to fight back, or if there's an opportunity.
Hey Morgan, question. Well, there's one secret entrance. Do you think there would be multiple? You've been throughout the castle. Are there other multiple secret entrances that we could possibly enter from?
I would imagine so, but I don't know exactly where they all are.
Also, who the fuck said this was a secret entrance? Like, we go 5 steps down and there's already guards. That's not a secret entrance. That's just an entrance.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Most other
it is
people don't
hidden
know
in
that
the
there's
wall.
tunnels.
Yeah, the door is hidden in the wall.
Also, Morgan, the reason that they knew about it is because of the legend about how the Vicmordia eventually took this place. That tale was passed down, so they knew approximately where to look when the Vicmordia and the Drow arrived here and inhabited it. And so that's how they knew about it. You would know that.
I would also know what no. Sophion was the one that knew that.
Sophion knows about the legend, but how this current group, he wouldn't have first-hand knowledge of it like Morgan does.
All right, Morgan, I'm in your hands.
Naked.
I mean, but would it be an option to see if we could bribe someone to turn against the Drow and help us with this?
Or
Like-
unknowingly help us with this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's just another layer of complication, but if there is someone that we could bribe and be like, hey, what they're doing is wrong, something like that. I don't know anything about the Vicmordia, really. I don't know where their
I'm not sure
relationships
you're
really
gonna
lie.
be able to appeal to a moral compass of any sort. You're not gonna be
Okay.
swayed by this is not right. They know it ain't right.
If we take out the head honcho, are they going to panic and squeal like small bugs? Or are they just going to try to kill whoever killed the leader?
You keep what you kill.
What?
Would I know about that?
You would gather from the way that they act around them and defer to them that the Vicmordia are a very central authority, deferential to authority, type culture, in that the chieftain is kind of, I mean, they're really the head honcho, and it's not until the chieftain dies that they name a successor that anybody is really groomed. So it's possible that could cause some disarray. That being said, there are daily, if not multiple times daily, meetings between Thizasta and the chieftain. And so if the chieftain were to suddenly come up dead, that would very quickly be noticed, and chances are security and the guards and everything would definitely crank up a bit, especially since this is supposed to be the final caravan and everybody's starting to pack up to leave.
So it's not like whoever kills Eric gets his position.
No.
Okay.
Well, there's an option.
I mean, but does that even... So, like, if we killed them, then they would just continue about their business and just try to kill us? Or, I mean, would that be like, all right, well, the person who was paying us is dead. Let's fuck off.
Well, let's think about one more option that we haven't really delved into yet. If we do wait for the caravan to arrive, we could spend 3 days preparing for it. What could we do to prepare for it and take it out? We have your forest helpers that can help us in a situation as such. We have Soraya's daylight ball thing.
Yeah.
Which could be helpful against the spider things.
I mean, I do have the thing that I could use to get us help now if we attack this. I could use it for the caravan, but I have a very limited time frame, a time window, until it's no longer useful.
Do you know how much longer you have?
I have a week from the day that I got it. Okay. And I don't know how long it's been.
So either plan would work within that time frame.
So you're saying take these 3 days, prepare as best as we can, and then ambush the caravan at some point?
It could be an option.
The whole problem is that Morgan said that the caravan goes north across the plateau, and there is, as far as I'm aware, nothing on the plateau. Like, is there even any, like, tall grass or, like, forest or anything that we could potentially hide in, or is it just a wide open expanse?
It's mostly brush. Everything as is around the base of the plateau and the surrounding land as well. It's been relatively clear cut, or at least it was, like I said, several decades ago, and the forest hasn't really re-encroached. So there are some boulders and things like that, and some waist-high brush, maybe the odd bare tree here and there. Not a whole lot to hide behind in daylight. Nighttime's a totally different story. You know your own limits of vision at night, which would be probably the limits of any drow, especially every human there, assuming that's all that they have occupying this castle.
At this point, I think our smartest option would be to infiltrate the group, get ourselves captured, and then break them out that way. Because, I mean, nighttime, there's not a lot of people walking around. If we do it in the daytime, there's going to be a lot of people, but nighttime, there's not a lot of people. And if there are more secret passages, if we could find them and locate them, and I don't know, maybe there's another secret passage in the ballroom itself, and we could sneak people out one by one and just stick them in there and say to go until you get out.
Morgan, do you know if there would be a map of the castle in, like, wherever the leader chambers are?
I would not know what he has in his chamber, but I'm sure I could draw you a quick sketch.
Yeah. Well, if we could have a map of the castle, then possibly, DM, I would maybe be able to graph out some possible, with your knowledge, Morgan, of the castle and possible escape doors that you might have seen, be able to map out where they might lead to, where they might go, based on my previous knowledge and experience reading maps and stuff from other adventures. DM.
Possible. You'd be testing your experience and your intellect. So there would be some skill checks required, but maybe.
Believe in you.
I'll like lay out a big sheet of paper, and I'll have like a little tiny notebook paper for Morgan to draw a basic sketch, because I don't, no offense to Morgan, but I draw my own maps. I don't want her to mess up my nice big paper. So I'll give Morgan a pen to draw a little sketch, and then I'll kind of like try and map it out on my big sketch with my map making tools. Beautiful.
Okay. All right. Let me see. How am I going to handle this? I like unique situations. Give me a second. I would say so your ability to accurately recall the layout and size and doorways and things of that nature, Morgan. Do you have any features or anything that would apply to this?
That I have?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're a ranger, so usually they're good at recalling terrain and things like that, so I'm just asking.
Let me...
Because you're feeding information, and then Brian is taking it and transforming it. This is both of you. This is reliant on both of y'all.
This is a lot of trust between Brian and Morgan right now. Brian
it's
is
like a game of map making telephone with improv. It's beautiful.
Yeah. This is mapistrations.
I don't have anything that is specifically helpful here now.
Okay. So,
Or if Lorelai could help for what she's seen so far.
sure, this is what I'll do. I will let you give me a. This isn't really history. Give me a general intelligence check, Morgan. With advantage. That's reflecting Lorelai helping you a little bit, and also the fact that you have been here a couple weeks, so you know the layout pretty good. We'll see how you do there, and then we'll go over to Brian. This is you giving the general layout. Like, there's some rooms over here like this, and this it's probably about this big, and then this is over here.
You said intelligence?
Yeah.
Ugh, 10.
Okay. All right.
Decent.
So, Brian, you have to interpret this, put it down on paper. So I would say that you putting it down on paper,
With any possible past knowledge I have, or maps that I might have seen fully before.
maps of the folly, unlikely. Give me a history check with disadvantage.
Okay. History check with disadvantage. Beep. 10.
Okay. So you have to rely on your general idea of fortifications and things along with Morgan's description. So there's that. Give me an insight check because you're trying to extrapolate and transform this.
Okay. Insight. Oh, that is a nat 20, sir. That is a 21.
It is. That is a very, very good roll. And then last but not least, give me a dexterity check with your map making skills.
Yes, sir. Where my doop. That is a 13.
And it's with your proficiency and everything because the map making skills, correct?
Right. Let me double check. Click. Oh, I don't think they would be in my feats, would they? Like in the section of that? They would be in...
No, since if you're proficient with your map making skills, all you're doing is adding your proficiency modifier to this roll. That's all that's allowing.
Ah, got it. And that is a 15?
Okay. So this is what I'll say. You're able to get an accurate representation of the first floor and the basement. That's all you've really been to often, Morgan. The second floor where Mayna's chamber is, you've only gone basically from the stairs to that one door, so that kind of get lost in translation, so we're not even going to talk about the second floor or the third floor. So let me block that off real quick on this map that I'm about to give y'all.
Yay. Good job, Brian.
I need a solid color.
Make it green.
Pink.
Green is
Alright.
far superior.
Let me share this map with you. It's a big map, so it might take a second.
I like big maps and I cannot lie.
You other map makers can't deny. And I'm gonna need to add something with token vision on here. And for the purposes of this, I'm gonna delete the walls so y'all can see.
Yay. Break those walls down. Oh.
In fact, let me copy this and delete the walls on one of them so I don't have to remake all these damn walls. Give me a second here. Uno momento.
This is the
I like
first
the Cree.
time you guys have actually seen like Brian do like his art skill. I'm super happy. I'm pleased.
Good
Take
job,
this.
Brian.
Yeah, campaign over. We've done it.
Right?
Everyone's had their impressive moment.
We're done.
Done.
Alright. So, the finer detail here, you wouldn't really be able to see. But you see the general layout of the rooms. The basement is this area down here. I'm gonna get my drawing tool out. Obviously, this is the basement area down here. And this is the secret passage. Okay. These right here on the right are the stairs that lead up into the kitchen here. Everybody sees that? Kind of, vaguely, close enough. Okay, so this is the ballroom. I would ping, but it's not working too good because it's such a big map here. And obviously, this is the throne room. This is the atrium. So, the route that y'all took, I'm going to change my color here.
Make it like a darker red or something.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Cool.
So Morgan went this way, and then down here. See the red in the basement?
Oh.
Let's see if I can make that thicker.
Yes, thick. Thick is good.
Yeah.
You're like that little demon from Hercules. Yes, thick.
Okay.
It's good.
And then came up here, went into this room. This is where everybody's gambling. Came here, and then this is the locked door that Lorelei went under. And then she came out this way and saw everybody.
Okay.
Now, if you have questions about anything else that Morgan may or may not know, I'm happy to answer them. I'm gonna go ahead and clear these drawings. Oh, I just reeled the top. Oop.
Oh, I wasn't looking.
That's okay. That's okay. It didn't have any
I'll allow it.
information. It didn't have any information. You're fine.
All right. Well, this is the best I could do with the information that I've gotten. I think that seems decently accurate. What do you think, Morgan?
I think that looks pretty good.
All right. Well,
Good enough for
wait.
government work.
What?
Good enough for government work.
This would probably take you about an hour to draw out all these walls and everything too, just so you know.
Could I be taking a short rest while they were doing that?
Sure.
I'm a perfectionist. So we're here, and we go down this hallway up these stairs. This is where you guys saw the prisoners being kept. So we do the plan. What's the plan? Now that we have a map here in front of us.
I mean, I guess if you guys are gonna get yourselves captured, Morgan could lead you guys in and be like, hey, I found these idiots in the tunnel and they killed those two guys that you were with, and just blame it on us.
Oh, that was always the plan.
Oh, okay.
What?
All right. I mean, we did kill. Well, you did kill them, but I mean, we
I
killed.
thought she was gonna blame it on the zombies.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna blame it on the zombies, but if we went with this plan, I was gonna have to say you killed them. I was gonna give you guys a little bit of credit, make y'all seem a little dangerous, try to get y'all some little reputation.
Does that not just get us immediately killed?
Yeah. Would they not want to kill us if we killed some of them?
Ah.
Okay.
The Drow do respect strength and self-sufficiency. That's relatively common knowledge now.
I guess that's true.
Sounds just like Lorelai. Oh my
But
god. Toxic.
If we do go that route, will they still put us in the same room with all the other prisoners?
Let's
or will they want
find
to
out.
put us in another room?
Would you maybe want to see if there was a way that we could, if they did get us captured and we were being taken by like one guard somewhere, would you want to try to assassinate them and have it just be assumed that he took us where he was supposed to go and then get in that way?
Man, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know what the best
Yeah, I
part
mean,
of this is.
let's just get captured. Have you have the weapons? I think that's like. Let's not make a house out of tissue paper.
The only problem is that if we do get captured and we want to distribute the weapons, it's going to take me a minute to give them to all of you, just in case something happens.
That's fine. I mean, we got what, 3 days before something bad happens, potentially.
That's true.
Yes.
So you can take your time, little spider lady.
We should kind of go through our packs and decide what's going to be most important to keep. We can also try to keep small things on Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan can also hold some of our things. Maybe not like big, huge, obvious things, but Morgan won't get searched.
Do you know if the Drow, did they do anything to the prisoners? Did they like examine them somehow, like to see if they have magic? Because I could see that being a problem.
Would I know that, Joey?
As far as anything arcane, you haven't seen any arcane energy of things of that nature. You're also a relatively inexperienced magic user, so nothing obvious arcane wise. As far as when captives are processed and they come here, they are stripped of all their possessions and they are searched very, very well, and then they are given back some basic, very loose fitting clothing, what they have, if they have stuff that's loose fitting, and they're sent into that room. And then from there, the only time they're really disturbed is when meals are brought in or when one of them is ill or something. As soon as one of them becomes ill, symptomatic, they're taken and they're never seen again.
Do they check nose or ear cavities?
It's a pretty intense investigation.
But cavities too. Yep.
I mean,
Okay, because if you guys have to strip naked, I can't be there.
You're gonna be a spider. You're staying here. It's only me and Brian.
Oh, I thought I was gonna go in as like on your shoulder and be like that.
Well, you could
Nah,
also
I
go
see.
in on our shoulder. You know generally where the room is, so you could always go and just
Or
head
be in
there
our
before
mouth.
we get there.
Well, I
Well,
think
if it's that detail of a search, then they would
Oh, gosh.
clearly think something was strange if we had a spider in our mouths.
Down in our throat, like far down that they can't see.
Yeah, I'll just create a web in your throat and you
I
won't
don't,
choke on that.
I don't trust my deep throating capabilities. Thank you.
I'm pretty experienced, so you're not gonna get me to gag. No matter what you do, I'm fine.
Or Lorelai can go on Morgan's shoulders because Morgan will not be searched.
Yeah, that's true.
That sounds easy. What the hell?
yeah, but then we don't have an excuse to add deep throating skills to your character sheets. So
This is true.
I mean-
Proficiency. It's proficiency bonus.
you gotta
Brian's book
pick your
is going to
poison
be
there.
so interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Sophian's like, yeah, I was there when that was written.
Yeah.
I helped make that story. Well, I feel like we have a general plan. We give all important things to both Morgan and Lorelai. Lorelai transforms into tiny spider Lorelai, hides onto Morgan. Morgan takes us in as prisoners. And we get stripped down and searched. And then hopefully be taken into the same room that the prisoners are taken to. Morgan will leave Lorelai at the door again, bring her in. She'll come find us and then attack.
I guess. We just have to be sure. It's gonna be suspicious if you guys don't have any weapons, I feel like. So maybe
Yeah.
just keep like a dagger or something.
I'll keep my armor and dagger, and they can strip that from me.
Yeah, I'll keep my rapier.
What are we gonna do about Soraya?
No,
Uh,
I'll take y'all's weapons, because there's no way I'm gonna lead you guys in and say I captured you guys and y'all still have weapons on you.
You could take some of the weapons.
Well,
I
yeah,
still
but I'm
think
saying if I have them, then I can.
True.
I'll probably be able to keep them.
That's
Get
true.
back. I'll say I'm gonna go drop them off somewhere, and I won't.
All right,
And
cool.
I can
That's
give them
fair.
back.
That's fair.
Okay.
And why are you helping us again?
I want that artifact.
Okay, checks out.
Okay. No other
So
questions.
we're attacking though in the caravan, right? Or are y'all want to attack in the castle?
I think we have a better odds in the castle. There'll be less of them. No?
Yeah.
At night. Yeah. We can get the jump on them.
The jump on who? You know, the Drow are awake at night.
Yeah, but the humans generally aren't. Do the Drow stay awake in the mornings too?
They generally retire to their chambers around sunrise. You would know that, Morgan.
Yeah, that's how most vampires do it.
And we said that there's more Vicmordir than there are Drow, right? Is that why we're coming to this
Yes.
conclusion? Yeah.
Yes, but also the Drow are powerful, potentially magic users.
Yeah.
The Vicmordir
Yeah.
are just mercenaries.
Yeah, if we have the ability to take out the Drow before the Vicmordir, then A, they won't have people that they're being paid for anymore, and B, we won't have the problem of the Drow anymore, and C, we won't be taking both of them on the same time, and D will be at a little bit more advantage because the Drow won't necessarily know we're here yet. I say nothing but positives to this plan so far.
Yep.
Well, the Drow will know we're here because it'll be nighttime if we do that. If we do it during the day when the Drow are asleep and attack the Vicmordir, then potentially if the Drow wake up, they'll be at a disadvantaged surprise because it's daytime.
Yeah. Well, let's get the first part of the plan first. Let's get the information, because with Lorelai outside of getting captured, we'll be able to continue to communicate and such. And we want 3 whole days of talking and finding out more information that the prisoners might know. You know what I'm
Should we
saying?
get captured now?
Yeah. I'm already in my skivvies.
Oh no.
Well, I think it would make sense for you to wear some armor.
Yeah, that's fair. Put on pants. Get the armor on. All right, let's do this.
I'll give Morgan my rapier, and I will give Lorelai my crossbow. And
Put it in my bag.
I will also give Lorelai my quill, my special quill, my spellcasting quill. And then I'll make sure that any other... I don't think I have any of the health potions, so I don't think I have anything else of use at the moment. Soraya has the special dot, but I am the one that has the Drow poison. I'm gonna give the Drow poison to Soraya if Soraya wants the dot and the poison together.
Should we wait for Soraya to wake up before we go and just leave her here?
Nah.
Well, we can sort out our things for a little bit and see if she'll wake up in the meantime.
Yeah, I say we go now, and then she'll figure it out. Lorelai can update her.
But I won't know when she's awake because we aren't going to be in this room.
Well, let's just sort out our things now, decide who's carrying what, and hopefully she'll wake up within that time.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave all of my stuff. I'm gonna hide it very well within the sarcophagi, and ask Sophion for help and try to like cover up one of the sarcophagi a little bit.
Oh yeah.
We can just hide all of our things in one sarcophagi. It'll be great.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
It'll be fine.
All good.
Everything's fine.
Did we win, Joey?
Did we make the right choice?
Did we do it right? Are you proud of us?
First of all, I'm extremely proud of you. I have one more question. If you were all done making your prepares as far as you can tell. Okay.
I assume we're pretty much ready,
Okay.
or at least still finishing up that process.
Sure. So, just because I want to force a character decision here, a party decision here, I will say for the purposes of this, that you know, Morgan, that your shift is going to be coming to an end within the next hour or so, based on the amount of time that was rested, going in there, the map making, discussing. Have about an hour until your normal shift is up, give or take. At which point people will be coming to check on the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that, and obviously everybody else, they knew about how long you had left in your shift, so they know that too. You're done preparing, you wait a couple minutes. Soraya still hasn't woken up. So, do y'all want to proceed without Soraya? Or wait for Soraya to wake up?
I want to wait for Soraya to wake up.
I say we don't have the time to wait for Soraya to wake up. We grab her important things. Her rapier, Morgan can have. The dart and the Drow poison, Lorelai can put in her pack. Crossbow, maybe Lorelai can put in pack, or if it doesn't fit, Morgan can hold on to that too. And we pretend that Soraya was knocked out. And we have Sophion carry her with us. As if Morgan took out one of us and is knocked out. They could still do the search and everything, but at least she'll be with us.
I mean, I guess. I just wouldn't want her because, I mean, what if they think something's wrong with her and she gets separated from us?
Something is wrong with her. She's been asleep for a long time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you said that they, like, if they're sick, they leave? Like, they get taken somewhere else and they never come back?
Yeah, but she's just knocked out, though.
Yeah,
as far as they're aware, she's just asleep. We can all say that she was just recently knocked out.
Mhm.
She'll be asleep with us, hopefully.
Hopefully they put her in the same room.
We will all be in the same room. She will just be asleep. Knocked
Okay.
out.
Okay.
We'll keep going as planned, but at least we'll have Soraya with us and we won't be leaving her in this tunnel alone and clueless as to what the plan is and where
Okay.
we're at in the plan.
Okay. And as at least if Soraya does get separated, I guess Morgan would be able to figure out where they would put her for the future reference.
You got options.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say that we just pack what she needs and take her with us.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm 100% for that point.
Yeah, we punch her to make sure she's knocked out, and we go forward.
Yeah.
You gotta put bruises on her, otherwise you're gonna be like, who knocked her out without like hurting her at all? Like, you gotta...
Honestly, I feel like you could just pinch her cheeks and that would be enough.
That's fair.
Probably.
All right.
I feel like me and Sophie, I need a scuffle though too, because I can't be like unblemished walking up in there.
Oh hell yeah, let's do this.
All right.
All right, are we doing this?
Y'all have
I'm gonna
fun.
do it. I'm
Yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna jump on her like, ah! Halfling attack.
Sparring match. I'm just kind of standing there watching.
I'm just laughing the whole time, but
Morgan likes the pain.
Morgan is toying with him.
Woo!
But I definitely need like a busted lip and a black eye, just to be believable.
Why don't you guys, both of y'all, roll 3 unarmed strike damages?
Unarmed strike damages.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be flat damage for each of you just because y'all aren't monks, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just I forgot what is it just 1 damage or is it
1 plus strength?
Okay.
So that's 2 for me.
What am I?
What's your strength mod?
So 4 damage.
Okay. Damn. All right, so that means that you're gonna take 12 damage, Morgan. Sophion, you're gonna take 6. During this friendly, energetic scuffle to sell what happened.
I'll like run over and raise Sophion's arm, but not say anything.
What does this mean? What is this a bard thing?
All right.
I'll take my rope out of my bag and like tie them like a little train.
Like the kindergarten train.
Oh, everyone, get your buddy. Orline, you have your buddy.
Yeah, I have my buddy eventually.
Okay.
Sophion, do you have your body?
I have my buddy.
No,
And
the
I
body,
have
like
a
Soraya's body.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
okay, yes,
Shaking her around. I got the body.
She's
Oh,
gonna be
this is-
so sick when
This
she
is
wakes up.
yours, Morgan.
I'm gonna take some of like the blood from like Sophion's face and like kind of like, I'm so sorry, and like smear it a little on like Soraya's face and hands just so that she looks scuffed up a little too.
All right.
I would do it with my own, but I don't think anyone else has black blood.
No, that's you should get that looked at.
Why?
That's not normal.
That's completely normal. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you are. You're just like some green thing that came somewhere. I don't know.
I'm a Verdant.
I don't know what the hell that is.
We come from the Underdark.
All right, heroes. Anything else before you begin this infiltration?
Oh, well, I assume I have other stuff, so I'm gonna turn into a spider and hide on Morgan again. Somewhere where people won't see.
In her hair, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Where someone won't look at her and be like, you have a spider on your shoulder, and then just fucking yeet me off.
Flick. All right. So, a tentative plan seems pretty good. In motion. Sophion carrying Soraya. Some weapons dispersed. Everything else that you didn't want to bring of use to avoid it being taken, you've left in the crypt behind. Make your way down this quarter-mile tunnel and make your way to the secret passage door. Morgan, as you reach over to the stone crevice on the hidden latch, you squeeze it, releasing the mechanism, and pull the door towards you. You step into the hallway and come face to face with the Vic Mordir chieftain, Eric Splitaxe. He seemed to have been walking down the hall, not expecting this. He doesn't look altogether surprised to see you, but this man standing above you, a long braided beard, shaggy hair, thick muscular body, with
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. That's my bad.
thick muscular body with several animal pelts covering his torso, legs, forearms, and thick hide boots. He looks at you in anticipation, wondering exactly what you're doing, abandoning your post. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Initiative. That bitch better mind his own business.
Ooh, we already have weapons. I mean,
We'll find out. Roll for
Oh,
initiative.
man.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Not yet, at least.
I feel like we need to say sorry in advance to Sammy.
oh my gosh, I know.
Well,
I'm just
hopefully
like,
Sammy's gonna watch this.
we're gonna be in chat, Discord. We're gonna be like, I'm sorry.
We're sorry ahead of time. We're sorry ahead of time.
Yeah, y'all got a lot to apologize to him. So.
You're the one carrying.
You're the one carrying
Soraya.
her.
All right, I'm going to queue up all the nice normal ending stuff. If you guys could, as always, be amazing and share your thoughts, good, bad, preferably good, on tonight's session. While I'm doing that, y'all go ahead.
Map making.
Map making. Maps were made.
Just call me Google Maps, y'all. That's what I'm here for.
And
You
when
don't
you
even
really
know.
need her, she will not be around and will send you off to like northern Baltimore when you wanted the National Harbor.
Google Map, who's that? Who's she? Don't know her.
Don't know that, Google.
Verdon missing? Phone's dead. Equivalent.
I liked infiltrating as a spider. I thought someone was gonna step on me, or I was gonna go into that door and there'd be like a cat on the other side.
Yeah, I thought that was the way that you were going to die.
Yeah.
Get ripped apart by a cat.
Okay, here's the question though. If the cat had gotten you under the door, would you have like retransformed half under the door, like
Well,
one
that's
half
why-
on one
Oh,
side?
that's why I picked the inkblot spider, because its armor is a little bit better than a regular spider, and it has 2 HP instead of just 1.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's something, right?
Oh my
I will
gosh.
say, I appreciate that mad burn from Morgan on Brian.
Holy
We'll remember
hell.
that. That
Brian will
was
remember that.
Brian will remember this. That was a sick burn.
A lot of shit went down. I think we learned about each other and ourselves.
And we're all going to die.
No
But
doubt,
at
no
least
doubt.
we'll do it together.
Exactly.
And
That's
Sophia
right.
will most likely be naked.
Yes. I
The
mean,
real
there's-
treasure is the friendships you made along the way.
And the thick men you found
We're
on
about
the way
to lose
too.
all of our friendships.
Like, what up, thick man? I knew a thick man once back in the town we were at. He was a mayor.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
What I liked how, here's the situation, let's think of some options, and you go through them. But what I thought was good, because you guys know that I love the roleplay part of this probably. All the pros and cons, what information was and wasn't shared, why you shouldn't do something, that all, as far as I could tell, was very, very inline character driven. You know, it wasn't like everybody hopped out and started player chatting, which, you know, it's D&D, it's a game, that's fine to do, but that just didn't happen. Y'all stayed in character and you were talking about why you shouldn't do things. Sophion, like, man, I'm just not a fucking hero. Morgan, like, yeah, no, I'm just not even gonna bring that up because I gave my idea already and they said fuck me, you know. So there was a whole lot of that going on, and that was cool. And this was a nice break because there's been a lot of combat and intensity going on, so y'all getting into that. Unfortunately, Sammy wasn't with us, but Sammy's gonna catch up on this, and I really look forward to seeing Discord chat when he's finally caught up.
Yeah, poor Sammy.
Or even better, the play-by-play as he's watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on that note, I have the raid queued up. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce on out. We're gonna go to the stream ending screen, roll the credits. Everybody be sure to join the raid. We're gonna raid Carney Sideshow again because they were really appreciative of raiding them last week, so, you know, spread the love around. And stay tuned. Exciting developments are afoot. A new adventure begins, and more will be shared as soon as it is appropriate to do so.
Lots of feet.
Yeah, lots of feats. Lots of feet. Alright, so, love you guys. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. I hope y'all had a good time, as much of a good time as I did and we did, hopefully. And we love y'all. Take care. We'll see y'all Friday night for Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. All right. Take care, y'all.